Hi, Mikey. Look at us. Hey, look at us. Isn't
Look
this
at us,
amazing?
3 weeks.
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks
We haven't
in
done
a
that
row.
since like 2016.
2016. I was gonna say, what is this? 2016?
this is You Chose Poorly, an emotional
Uh,
tech support podcast. I'm Sawyer. I'm here with my friend Mikey, and we're gonna
Hi.
hi. We're gonna do some emotional tech support. I have a little bit of follow up, and it's important that we do follow up sometimes because that's what a tech podcast does.
Of course, especially a weekly one.
Yeah. So last week I talked about my switch to Android and
Hmm.
got a Samsung Fold and a Watch 8, and all of it broke, and I had to go back to Apple immediately.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is the show for it.
Yeah, perfect.
What happened?
No, I'm kidding. Everything's fine, actually. I wrote a blog post to like write down my
Uh-huh.
thoughts as well as the podcast, and I put it up on my website on my blog, and it got all of 8 views because no one looks at websites anymore, right? And then I thought,
Right.
this is like a pretty good, I don't normally do this, but this is a pretty good blog post to just like put on Reddit,
Hmm.
right? Just drop that into like the Android Reddit. And so I looked for a community on Reddit that would make sense to put it. And so there's a Galaxy Fold Reddit. And I was like, this is perfect. I'll put my thoughts and impressions here, and maybe I'll get yelled at, or maybe I'll get ignored. I don't know. But I put it on Reddit, and as of today, 1 week after the post, which is probably the most that it'll get, I've got 44,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
When you told me that it blew up, I did not expect that number.
That's a high number for me. I'm not used to those kind of numbers on my stuff.
Mm.
As I said, like 8 hits on my blog.
Right.
And it got a lot of comments, got a lot of engagement. People were generally quite positive. They also, people
Hmm.
had like advice for things that I was worried about or wondering about. Like it was about as good of a Reddit post as I could ask for the whole
Nice.
experience of it. Yeah. Yeah.
No, fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
No one was weird. No snarky, whatever.
No, just like helpful. Pretty
Nice.
nice.
You should put this on the show notes, both the Reddit post
I will.
and, of course, your blog. Yeah.
I will. Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh, but
that's
you did last time with the blog, right?
yeah.
That was already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But I'll put this
Reddit.
Reddit. Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Look at that. Yeah.
Maybe I'll post to Reddit more. I like the numbers. I
Mm.
like. We both know we both like getting good video game numbers.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
that's great. I have things to say about Reddit today too, but more
Okay.
on that later.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. It's been
So
a big week.
you had a big week.
I had a big week, Sawyer.
Tell me
Huge.
tell me about your week.
So we were supposed to record on a Monday night last night,
Hmm.
Monday night Philippine time, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And at around 1:30 in the afternoon, someone messaged me on one of my wrestling Discord friend groups,
Hmm.
and they said, "Is Conan here?" And Conan is Conan O'Brien. If we know each other from Tumblr, we don't need to explain who Conan O'Brien is.
Yeah.
But if you're if you're if you're a listener of the show and you didn't meet us in Tumblr, Sawyer and I, well, Conan O'Brien is an American comedian, former talk show host, a travel show, Emmy award-winning show, Conan O'Brien Must Go, and is the host of the podcast Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Lots of lore surrounding Conan.
He
I
hosted
think
the
I would.
Oscars this year.
He hosted the Oscars. Won was awarded the Mark Twain
Yeah.
Prize. It was a
Big
big
year
year
for
for Conan,
Conan. Yeah.
and big year for Conan fans. I will say, especially Conan fans who have been fans throughout, like
Hmm.
from our childhood, like myself,
Yeah.
and many of us. I would say that in many ways, Conan is our generation's talk show host.
I think so.
I think it's safe to say that.
Hmm.
And I will say Conan personally means a whole lot to me, means a whole lot to my wife, is foundational to my relationship with my wife.
That's
Um,
interesting.
yeah, it's foundational. I mean, I tell you, our fandom is one of the reasons that we are,
Hmm.
you know. And more on that in some other medium maybe, but I will say that just to lay this out. So someone
Okay.
messages me that Conan's here, and I said, "What? This is okay. It's the middle of a work day. Let's check this out." And they said, "No, Mikey, Conan's here," and posts a photo of Conan with his team in Bonifacio Global City, this Bonifacio High Street, like I would say, what would be considered a strip mall, like an outdoor strip mall, that high end upper class strip mall that we frequent. So I saw it immediately. I recognized it. They even said, I will say, for nice intersection for you chose poorliness. Someone said that Conan is here with Tim Cook and Steve Wozniak, because they did not recognize Mike Sweeney and Aaron Blair, and they just assumed that because the iPhone 17 was coming out this week,
Yeah.
that's why Conan was here.
Okay.
I, of course, was the perfect audience for this post. I should put in the show notes and quickly debunk that this is not Tim Cook,
Right.
and it's not Steve Wozniak.
You're like,
This is
finally, my expertise.
yeah. It's my time to shine.
I can tell these white people apart.
Exactly. Lots of things to say about white people, by the way, this week, because more later. So anyway, so then we quickly confirmed that Conan was here, and this was. I don't know. I'm not an expert fan of things. I'm a fan of like large things, like wrestling,
Sure.
and music,
Yeah.
and technology.
Sure.
Like I'm not really a fan of personality the way stands are. I don't stan anyone so
Sure.
much,
Yeah.
right? Until well, except of course for Conan. And I
Okay.
did not realize this until the possibility of seeing him, being with him, being in the same room as him, opened up. Because that's not a thing us Filipinos ever I think about. That's not a thing I certainly ever think about. We're just so far away from you guys, you know. We're
I
so
think
then he's
you
here.
might be closer to LA than I am, but okay. Yeah.
I think in many ways I could be than you are. Uh, so Conan's here,
Yeah.
and then I message my wife, and she's not replying. She's taking a nap or something, and then someone quickly tells me that where they are and what they're doing. So I immediately assumed that this was for his show, season 3 of Conan O'Brien Must Go, and that the Philippines is going to be one of the stops. And I'm also familiar with how. A version of the show, Conan O'Brien Needs a Fan.
Yeah.
There have been like three or four Filipino fans who have called and asked him to come, and he kept saying yes. So I thought,
Yeah.
and that's the format of the travel show.
Yeah.
Like he would visit the fans who would call in. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. And then I had to message you and say, Sawyer, I'm sorry, something came up. I'm not going to be able to record tonight because I just needed to figure out what to do here. Like I did not know what to do. Anyway, what we ended up doing was we decided we have to be a fan and just stalk him.
Oh
Like there are
no.
rumors of where he might have stayed. But we knew that he was in the general area because he wasn't filming anything yet at the time. He was just here.
Yeah.
So where would he go? So what we did was my wife and my son came. My son was like, "We have to go. We have to try. Even if we fail, we have to try." This 9-year-old boy, I don't know if he is as much. He is not as much a fan as we are, but he certainly is. It's around the house, so he knows who Conan is, and
Sure.
enjoys the
You've
shows.
been a good Conan fan parent in that you've instilled some of it onto him.
Absolutely, we have been.
Sure.
So he was the one who said, we have to go." So
Yeah.
then they take a Grab, which is like an Uber, near where I work. We meet up, and we walk 10,000 steps, 5 kilometers all over the place, looking for him, all the hot spots in the area. We fail, and then we go to the hotel where he might be, and then he wasn't there. And at around 9:30, or like 8:30 or 8 o'clock, we decide, okay, no, we're done. This was a nice adventure.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Because
And then-
at that point you're like, well, if we were to keep going, what lines would we be crossing?
Right, precisely, right? Tuesday night happens, and we think, okay, let's wait it out, see what happens, and then people start like Philippine fans just everywhere start posting selfies with him. He's just everywhere, and these are places we go to. These are, and then also, sure enough, we see the next morning the hotel where we were stalking. There were selfies with people there. So it's like, oh my gosh, we were right. That's where he
But you
was.
like just missed it in terms of timing. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at this point, this we are now breaching wrestling fan protocol,
Uh huh.
right? As a wrestling fan, we were doing the thing no one should do, which is wait at the hotel. We were
Yeah.
already doing it,
Oh no.
right? Right? We you chose poorly. We were already like breaching this. So we were Tuesday night. We're like, okay, well, that's it. Wednesday, our evening opens up a little bit, and we're thinking we already know where he's staying.
Yeah.
We also already know, and also their team is posting, and our some of our friends, people who know us, are all telling us about what's happening. They bump into the producer, Aaron Blair, who hosts Clueless Gamer with Conan. Most of the episodes of Clueless Gamer with Conan. We realize a lot of the intersections of fandom come from the gaming world because of Clueless Gamer. Um, and then we decide to try again Wednesday night, and then we meet a bunch of other fans. So our excuse is we're paying customers, so we're not gonna sit at the lobby. We're gonna, spend a lot of money on cakes and desserts and coffee and tea. Head out
Sure.
for dinner, come back and spend money.
At least you're
Just it's the polite thing to
at
do.
least you're patronizing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we hang out, we meet them, and we meet the other fans, and then by around 8:30 we give up because it's like, okay, well, this has been long enough.
Yeah.
It's time to go home. As soon as I get to we're in the car, we're driving home. My friend messages us. My wife sees it on my phone, and the producer arrives. They were one floor just above us the whole time. The producer goes downstairs, and then he says, and here's my defense. He says that 8 to 10 p.m. at night is a good time to wait, and they don't mind.
Oh,
So
it's okay.
suck it, judgmental wrestling fan Conan fans who judge us,
Well,
because there's a Reddit post.
if the person is like, it's fine, you can do
Of
this.
course,
Okay.
yeah. I say this only because, quick aside, there was a Reddit post from a Filipino wrestling fan, wrestling Conan fan, sorry, I should say, who was expressing disappointment at the Filipinos who were stalking him were at the hotel, which is
Sure.
me. Which is me. And I mean, I was nice. I responded politely. I'm thinking I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll share the link here because
Okay.
it's worth discussing, I suppose. And CM Punk that night posted a thing about the wrestling fans hang out at hotels. You're not fans, you're stalkers. And you know
Yeah.
what? I get it.
Yeah.
But if Aaron Blair tells you that 8 to 10 p.m. is a safe time to wait at the lobby, like he didn't even say go get a coffee. He said wait at the lobby, which we're not gonna do. I'm a paying customer. Then my conscience felt a little bit better.
I
Thursday
think
night
that
we
does
try.
help. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It does help a lot.
Yeah.
Thursday night we're thinking Friday night's gonna be really busy. Word is also spreading. Like
Sure.
now it's not because there were like 4 people at the hotel, at the lobby, and then apparently there were more upstairs because we weren't coordinating. There's just a bunch of
Yeah.
people upstairs where Conan was.
Yeah.
Thursday we think this might be our best bet because I'm with a kid. We're not crazy fans in that we're gonna sleep over. We're not gonna do too much. We can't. We're bound by like nap time and things like that. So Thursday night we try one last time, and then we wait there, and then there are suddenly more fans.
Oh.
Like there were like 7 fans where we waited the last time,
Yeah.
and then they tell us there are more on the other side at the lobby, not as customers. And then within moments, like we didn't even get to settle down. We look out, and coming out from a van is Conan, his team. We all freak out. Sawyer, like we freak out.
Yeah.
And we see him, and it was just this moment of, oh my God, I can't believe it's really him. And then the other fans start freaking out. She's like, I'm palpitating, don't mind me. And I record video of just the entrance because they're stepping in. I will share this video because it's on my private Instagram page, but I'm recording and I just keep apologizing to him. Like, I'm just saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And he responds, he says, I don't think you are, to laughter. And then and then I look around and it's like 30 people from everywhere in the lobby, just waiting because everybody knows that he's there.
Yeah.
Autographs, signatures, selfies. I take a picture with the whole team. I don't get a proper picture with him, but it's okay. I almost didn't need it. I just, it was just amazing sorry, this is just dorkiness here, Sawyer. I apologize, but I apologize for
This
the
is what this
cringe
is for.
for the cringeworthiness of what being a fan is like, but it was just enough
Yeah.
to just be in that scenario.
Yeah.
And then his team was there. There's also another podcast called Inside Conan with his writers Mike Sweeney and Jesse Gaskell, and they were there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud to say that I geeked out over seeing them, and they knew it, and not everybody was. I don't think anybody else was at the time. I was proud to be one of the few like hardcores in
Yeah.
the like I was a smart mark, you know what I'm saying? I was a smart mark that night, and everyone was just a mark. There were some smart marks there, but like there was a specific brand of smart mark that I
Yeah.
enjoy being, and it was nice to feel validated. I got to tell them that I enjoy their show more than Conan's a lot. Um, and magic words, Jesse says. And then, and I guess this is what you noticed also is that there was a print of a story from Aaron Blair that he wrote 10 years ago or published 10 years ago. I don't know how long ago he wrote it, entitled "How to Lose Weight in 4 Easy Steps." And I'll post a link in the show notes. It's a great story. I don't really want to spoil it. Well, maybe I could so we can discuss it in the show, but. Like it's a really funny story, and it almost to me seemed like his coming out party,
Yeah.
because before that he'd be featured in like Conan's remotes in the office. Like we knew in the Conan lore that he was a producer, and he
Okay.
was someone Conan picked on a lot. But then when he wrote that piece, it was like, oh, this guy's funny, this guy's good, and then also after that. There's Clueless Gamer, and then now everybody knows who Blair is. He was the second most popular guy in that team.
Okay.
And I printed out that story, and I brought a clipboard and I asked him to sign it, and he was very happy to see it. So I was thrilled.
Yeah.
Then he kept saying, that's so kind," and I was just I sound like such a dork, but I was just so grateful to them for just being here. Like, what are they doing here in my backyard? It makes no sense to me. Yes, I know it's a show. Yes, I know they profit. Yes, I know HBO gave them a whole ton of money, and they're
Yeah.
not really spending much because HBO covered everything. Um,
Good work if you can
but
get it.
yeah, but just for me, it just meant the world, and that took up my entire week, Sawyer.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm thrilled and happy. This is a story I wanted to tell him if I ever got a chance to talk to him in person. My wife and I, Char and I, wanted to say that um, we wanted to. We almost named Max after Conan, um, but it was 2016, and that's when Me Too was happening, and we weren't sure. Like we didn't want to regret it. Like we love Conan, but all of these surprise us, right? Like
You're like, I don't. That okay? That's an extremely Conan-y kind of joke too. Is to be like,
right, 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 right.
you're fine. You're definitely green lit, but
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
you might not always be.
You never know, right? I mean, who would have thought Bill Cosby would be Bill Cosby? For a
Uh-huh.
long time he was just Bill Cosby,
Yeah,
and then
sure,
now he's Bill Cosby.
sure. So you were
Yeah.
like, instead, I'm gonna name our son after the large iPhone.
Sure, sure. Or Conan's drummer,
Which were
famous
were
drummer,
they even calling them
band
Maxes in
leader.
2016?
No, no, they were pluses.
They were
They're the
pluses.
6 plus,
And you were
right?
like, plus is a dumb name for a kid, so
Plus is a dumb name.
so we'll go with Max.
Let's go with Max, right? Sure. Of course, the first Max phone that came out, I immediately purchased.
Of
So,
course, you have to.
but yeah,
Yeah,
but that was then before Apple turned
yeah.
heel. So, but anyway, this is a one day I hope to tell him this story. I'm just sharing it here with you. But as a person who is a fan
Yeah.
of not very many things, um, this was like a crazy fulfilling week, and it's weird to say because I feel like we I have to like poke fun at fandom as a thing. in this show. Like it's like a default personality setting of mine.
Sure.
To kind of it's there's a there's a layer of cynicism that I need to adopt.
Yeah.
We were talking about after the show 2 weeks ago about being glib.
Hmm.
So this is a thing that I default to, but I cannot with this one. This
Yeah.
is just me. This is as I feel as vulnerable a version of myself as I ever have because of this, and I am immensely happy about the whole experience.
That's awesome. I have two or three thoughts, if that's okay.
Sure, of course.
So the first one, real time follow up. Turns out the Philippines is much farther from Los Angeles than Toronto. I just said that out loud, and then I was like, let me just look that up on a map, and I'm like, why do I always assume the Pacific Ocean is not the largest body of water on Earth?
The largest. Sorry, I thought you were like being intellectual about this. Like
No,
culturally, we're closer to LA, like in some way. And I'm
culturally,
like, and I'm responding, look, in some ways we are.
culturally you might be, but physically, no.
He says the North American. Yeah, in some ways we are.
I think what it is for me is that because I go to Japan, I have to just block out how long that flight is. Like
Yeah.
that's the worst part about traveling to Japan is the length of the
Right.
flight, and I just have to just to have that not be part of the processing. And so
Yeah.
in my brain, the Pacific Ocean is like, it's like a 3-hour flight. It's fine. It's nothing.
Japan is like 2 hours away from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would be 2 hours longer from you than it took to Japan for you to come here,
That's right.
right?
It's quite far.
Yeah.
So point number two,
Uh-huh.
in terms of like, I was just, as you were talking about that, I was just formulating this like mathematical theory of like being a fan of something and like that spectrum of being a fan of like, on one end, you're like, yeah, I guess I kind of know what this is and it doesn't bother me. And on the other end, it's like, if that person is within running distance, I will start running
Right.
at them.
Right.
I've seen this in Toronto. It happens. Like I've seen, and it's like an activation. Like I once, and this is an embarrassing story for that person, but I was once at a private function, and I'm not going to name names, but this one person heard that like Drake was within running distance, and
Toronto, of course.
yeah, and she started running.
Oh boy.
She just like a light switch flicked, and she just
Right.
bolted in the direction
gotta
she
go.
heard Drake was in.
Yeah.
Right? So like that's the spectrum.
Yeah.
Right? And like you going to a hotel that a person's staying at and spending Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, spending 3 nights being like, maybe they'll show up.
Maybe they'll show up.
Where is that on that spectrum? Is that closer to running?
I would say yes.
Yeah,
Sawyer.
that's closer to run, right? And I could see, I think I'd be more judgmental if that message from the producer wasn't part of it. If he wasn't like, hey, if you guys, because that's him managing expectations and also coordinating with the hotel, I bet.
Yes.
Right? To be like, that's my guess, is like, he called the hotel and was like, when's a good time for fans to be crazy about this?
Right.
And they were like, between 8 and 10 is perfect, actually.
Yeah. No, and it was also like, I was talking about this with my wrestling fan friends. Because someone said, why are we rooting for Mikey to run into Conan and giving him advice about seeing Conan?
Yeah.
But if this was a wrestler, we would all give the opposite advice.
We'd all be like, leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the conclusion that we came up with, or someone else came up with, is that because I didn't want to be the one to defend myself, I was just like, yeah, you know what, it's valid. Is all I said.
Sure.
But I just spoke for myself, and I was like, but I got to do it. Sorry, but
Yeah, because you've crossed
the
that because somewhere on the fandom
that's it.
line you've gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if there's an opportunity to meet the person, I'm gonna do everything I
yeah,
can. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
This is
might
the
not
farthest
bolt.
place.
You might not bolt into a sprint, but you will organize and buy some
Yeah,
desserts.
absolutely. Spend
Yeah.
a lot of money. Spend more money than I intended to on a Monday night, a Tuesday night, and a Thursday night.
That's also very funny.
Yeah, no, but I mean, okay, just for context, we're celebrating a major birthday this weekend. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be saving money this
Yeah.
past weekend.
Yeah.
This was a big birthday weekend in this
Yeah.
family, and but all week just so. But I was gonna say that the resting my friends at the Smart Henry Discord. Former smarthenry.com, but the website doesn't exist anymore, but we're all still in touch, is that they said, no, 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 Conan asked for this.
Yeah.
Conan stepped outside the hotel, took pictures of himself in the nearby area.
Yeah.
Where else would he stay? Like
Yeah.
he said, I just landed in Manila. He said, I'm gonna the show notes. I just landed in Manila, met all these wonderful people,
Yeah.
and it's just in the same area. Like anyone who knows the area is gonna assume it's one of three hotels,
Yeah.
and we were right about which one it was gonna be. So like people, you can't blame people for knowing that
Mm-hmm.
about the hotel. You can't blame people for wanting to see him at the hotel since he welcomes it so much.
Yeah.
But I will go further and say, like, anyone who's followed him long enough and has seen like Conan O'Brien Can't Stop, that documentary that came out after the Tonight Show fiasco, before he came back
It's
to
a very
PBS,
good documentary. Yeah.
is a very good documentary. It made me feel very sad for him for a few years after.
Sure.
Just like it altered my fandom because it just didn't seem like a help. This was like, I'm sorry to bring it back to John Cena, but this is John Cena. Everything John Cena complained about in his heel turn is what Conan should have been complaining about, but wasn't,
Yeah.
and to his detriment. And it made me aware of my part in this toxic relationship he has with us. But I'm glad he's able to manage it. And now, of course, it's been enough years that I don't know. I've settled into this. He's settled into his Conanness, and now he's here in my country. What you just realized is across the biggest ocean in the world. What else am I gonna do? Of course, I'm gonna go there.
I want to say I did know that objectively. Just sometimes I forget.
Right, right, right. Sorry, I should remind people that that's the case. You've asked me this so many times over the past 9,
I
10,
know.
15 years.
I know what a globe is.
If I dig straight down,
Yeah.
I'm gonna end up there.
Maybe.
There,
Yeah.
like beside you. That's
Yeah.
what actually happens. The other thing I was gonna say is one more thing about the real-time follow-up on myself is I mentioned the white people, and I just don't want to forget the reason white
Yeah, we got to
people
talk about the white
are
people. Yeah.
just really quickly is that they were trapped for 4 days,
Uh-huh.
but on Thursday night after I met them, they have all been set free and they can be themselves again instead of not Conan.
Okay.
Like because we spent 4 days looking around and every white person is a double take for us. It's like oh, and then we forget. Of course, we're in like the business district, like the upscale fancy district of
Yeah.
the city. So of course there's tons of white people. So it was exhausting to to keep to keep looking at every white person and see, is that Conan? Is that Mike? Is that Blair? But then Thursday night they were set free
Yeah.
and white people could just be themselves again. So thank you, white people. We're sorry. You don't all look the same. Um, but in the Philippines, you don't know if
Sure.
I'm you know.
Yeah.
But is that okay for me to say? Should we cut that out?
It's fine.
Is that safe?
You can't offend white
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. So So yeah, that was a big
Despite
week
what
for
the
me.
Americans can, despite what Americans will say about that, you can't really offend white people.
Yeah, they're really upset.
Oh
They're really
God, are
offended.
they ever?
Like this past
Jeez.
weekend, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But this is not that kind of show, I guess.
No.
No, no. What we do is we just get rid of our devices and buy a new set of devices. That's our way of talking about it.
So I want to ask you more about like the other like the Conan of it all is like why all this
Yeah.
happened, right?
Right. Of
But
course.
you
Yeah.
were also really excited to meet like the other people on the show, like
Yes.
and the producers and stuff, and the people on that other podcast. Which
Yeah.
please send me links to those because I don't actually know those because I'm a Conan fan, but I'm not like I don't know his like world very well.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'm not at that level of like Conan fan where I know like the crew.
Yeah.
So yeah, please send that along. I'll look into it.
No, sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
tell me more. Tell me
Yeah.
more about the weight loss guy.
So the weight loss guy is Aaron Blair, and he's also the host of Curious Gamer. Oh, sorry, Clueless Gamer is what I should say. And he's been around. He was an intern in the early years and just stuck around, and even now, current Team Coco with a much smaller staff, and he's still around, and he's now an important figure in the lore, even on screen. And he wrote a story that I said was a coming out party entitled "How to Lose Weight in 4 Easy Steps." And I might as well spoil it. So Aaron Blair was kind of a he's a large fellow, and most of his appearances in the early years was as a like quite a rotund man. Not really. I would say not really, but he was big and thick, you know. And then slowly, if you didn't read the story, you just noticed that he became fit and like buff, and uh, and if you watch the documentary, Conan would like beat him up a lot and punch him a lot and physically bully him a lot, and that's part of the relationship they have. So you just notice that he lost a lot of weight. Conan would mention that he goes to the gym a lot. Anyway, the story and a lot of his other stories on Medium, like explains his journey. But I think it started, or the thing that really exploded, was that story how to lose weight in 4 easy steps. In it, he explains. It's a great story. I recommend everyone read it, even if I'm about to spoil it. There's even a short film based on it that has Conan in it also, where he explains, he gives genuine advice for step one and step two, and then step three is a long story about his failed romantic endeavor that resulted in him eventually going to the gym and losing weight. And step four is no fruit juice, lots of sugar. It's a great story. It's hilarious. Everyone should read it. And I will say that this was in 2015, I will say. And my journey, which we talked about on the show sometime last year, was last year. Last year was when it happened, and I will say that because Conan is such a fixture in our home, in our lives. Aaron Blair's story is a thing that resonated with me. Not that my story comes from heartache or heartbreak like his was, um, but that knowing that he's someone who he didn't come from a Hollywood budget, you know, like this is a guy who just went out and did it. So I will say that story stuck with me personally, and it's one of the reasons that that story was special to me, and that I was happy to have him sign. So that's Aaron Blair. And then the Inside Conan folks, I will send the show notes, but these are his writers who just talk about Conan's career and the behind the scenes moments of those things and how Conan was during those things. So if you're a fan of Conan lore, it's a very good show. But that's it with Blay. Blay is also the clueless gamer guy. So a lot of people brought video games and had them sign them. It was really fun.
Cool.
I did not think to do that, even if I enjoy Clueless Gamer, but because I felt like my specific brand of parasocial relationship with him had more to do with the fitness
With the
journey,
fitness, yeah.
and yeah, and his being a funny guy who just suddenly revealed himself as a funny guy despite being just someone who was the butt of the joke a lot of times over the years.
Right. Did you talk to him about like your fitness?
No, I wish I could, but I think he was very happy to sign something of his own,
Yeah.
because a lot of the things he signed were additional Conan things,
Yeah.
just the autographs of the whole crew, where Conan was, of course, the person the person wanted him to sign. But when he saw it, he didn't even know like, what do I do? Where do I sign this? He said. And I just signed it here, please. And then, oh, that's so kind. That's so kind. I will say that he is such a nice guy, because he's not a celebrity in the classic sense, but he's a celebrity among Conan fans.
Right.
So he really took the time to interact with people. And when we took a picture together, I was in the busyness of it. It was me, my wife, my son, and him, and I just took a few photos and then tried to get away from there just because there's so many
Yeah.
people and I didn't want to bother them.
That's
But
nice.
after it turns out that he had not looked at my camera; he was looking at someone else. So I put my phone away, and then he grabs me and says, "Okay, now our turn." And I had already put my phone away. And then I said, "Oh no," I was like, "Oh, but thank you so much." "Oh no, thank you, it's so kind," he says. So I really appreciate it. That's really nice of him. I might send him a note on Reddit because apparently he frequents Reddit. But such a great guy, that Aaron Blair. Really appreciate it.
Cool. Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So when you messaged me about the story, it's well, you thought it was a health guy. Like it might have been. Did you assume like it was like a strainer or something?
My initial thought about the seeing your story, because I didn't like the Conan stuff was in and around that, but I thought maybe you'd maybe gone to two events, like a Conan event and this guy's event,
Oh, okay.
right? It seemed like you were there for two purposes.
Right.
And I was like, who's
Right.
this?
Right.
Who's this health guy? I was curious
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
nosy. You know.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I appreciate about you because now we have a show. See, so but the it's interesting that this came up for me as well because like my own personal journey now is kind of wonky,
Yeah.
like just because of everything that's happening to my
This
family
this
recently.
this was the other thing. I saw you doing like a health thing, and I was like, oh, that's maybe we could do like a follow-up episode from last year, because health stuff is always evolving, right? Like
Yeah.
when you do a weight loss thing or a strength thing or whatever, like these things change year to year. It would be interesting to talk to you
Yeah.
about that again, see how you are, you know.
Yeah. So let's get into it. I was
Sure.
gonna say that it's as good a time as any just because of Aaron Blair also. So I appreciate where he was. I did come across another story of his while I was printing this one, and I do want to share it also. So which is not quite as not as much a funny story or funny article or essay as much as it is actual health advice,
Okay.
which is not really my jam.
Yeah.
But he did say that essentially it never stops. Like this health journey thing never stops. And it's interesting to me because in many ways I have stopped, or there are things that I have stopped not on purpose, but just because, like we stopped counting calories. But even if I'd stopped literally counting calories with everything I ate, I was still a little bit more cautious. But recent events in the family has made that very difficult, and so I just decided I'd
Yeah.
rather be happy. It
Yeah.
wasn't really a big deal. It was just like, you know what, I'm just not gonna do this for a while.
Sure.
And then even working out regularly, we do still work out regularly. I know Chard certainly does more than I do,
Yeah, did
but
she,
like
not to jump gears here, but did she just run a marathon?
she ran a 10K.
Wow.
She ran a 10K on her first day as in her 40s.
That's amazing.
Uh, it's amazing, and she's gonna be mad at me for even mentioning it, but it's okay. There's like six of us here. It's okay,
That
or less.
the little like the trophy she won,
The
the
medal, the
medal,
medal, yeah,
so
yeah,
beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh my god.
I will say there's a Yucho sporty element to this too, because as thrilled as we were and as thrilled as she was and is, there were a lot of people who were mad about that whole event because there were rainfall warnings throughout the week and it rained like crazy. But the event setup was in the middle of the University of the Philippines' sunken garden. It's literally called the Sunken Garden. So it was a basin for all the mud and flood of the rains, and everyone had to go through that thing. So a lot of people were upset. It's hilarious, I will
Wow.
say. It's really
But
funny,
even more
but
impressive then, actually.
yeah, yeah. Between she didn't care, we didn't care. Was very happy. All
Yeah.
she wanted was to see us at the finish line,
Yeah.
and that's what we did, and it was perfect.
Well,
So
tell her I think she's
so yeah,
cool.
that's great. Yeah, she's the best. So she's her journey, I think, is safe.
Yeah.
Mine, is kind of in wonky territory. Well, where I tell myself, okay, if I work out at least twice this week, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like if I'm working out less than twice, I'm in trouble.
Mm.
But like I'm well aware that I'm already in some version of trouble, where I'm at. You know, but I'm okay with it, Sawyer. But I'm also like I haven't my weight hasn't fluctuated like a lot of people threatened would happen to me. It's not quite. I've kind of stayed at the same level.
Right.
Gained a little weight from my weight goal, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
But and I'm still the same clothes size
Yeah.
from my when I hit my weight loss goal, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I realized one of the things I forgot was the reason I did this is not for the vanity and not for the idea of fitness. It's the literal fitness. It's to keep my blood work healthy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when it
That's.
occurred to me that oops, my blood work, I have to get tested soon in a few months,
Mm-hmm.
maybe in a few weeks even. I'll have to get tested soon. I don't think I'm gonna be as okay as I was 6 months ago.
Right.
So like now, apropos, just because we're talking about this now, like I think I'm kind of gonna have to get back and do my old strategy.
You gotta.
But
It's
I
like you got a dentist appointment coming up, and it's like, well, I gotta floss now.
gotta floss now. Yeah, I gotta floss now because I mean we discussed this in the show, but my blood work ended up from terrible became okay
Mm-hmm.
just because of what I was doing. Like I did not need to do anything I considered dramatic. Counting calories and gamifying my fitness really helped me. So
I mean, it's
but
wonderful that it did. Like that's because it's a tool you can use it. It might help, but the fact that it did help, that's awesome.
right, right. In
Yeah.
fact, I wouldn't advise it to everybody, but it certainly helped with me.
No, I
Um,
think something that we both talked about in the last episode about this was that like health
mhm.
and health advice is really difficult because like you are unique. Like every
Yeah,
human being is actually unique in this regard. You can like it you can't give advice from one human body to another human body about this.
no,
All you can do as someone who owns a human body is try different things until something works.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel really lucky that what I tried worked
Mm,
because whatever I thought I tried over the years, I didn't really try. you know, this is the only thing I actually tried. So I'm
right.
happy that it worked.
Right.
It gave me the confidence to know that I could do it. So I'm gonna have to do it a little bit again. But the goals are a little bit hazy now. I think all I want is to just keep doing it until I get the blood test, and then let's see. I was supposed to like have strength goals, but that's just logistically much more difficult now. Protein is so difficult. Like tracking nutrition is just
Mm,
too hard for someone who is dealing with things
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
you know, like it needs even the YouTuber fitness world. It needs a person who is really dedicated to primarily that
Mm,
to be able to do it. And I
mm-hmm.
I can't. It's hard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'll drink a protein shake or two and I'll track it a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's just I don't hit my goals. It's just so hard. Calories is hard enough to track.
Yeah.
But so this is a thing. This is where I'm at, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna update you, I guess. No, you're gonna know how I'm doing
Yeah.
in a few months. But
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. But I'm curious to know because if what prompted this whole conversation about Conan was where you were at, where are you at? How are you doing?
Um, I'm so I've had you said last year you were on a journey. This year has been like my journey.
Mm,
So I didn't get anything as serious, I'd say, as a diabetes thing as you got. But I did have a
mm.
fairly serious thing happen to me in the spring, which was I had a diverticulitis attack.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So the
Oh,
Kenny Omega thing,
yeah.
right?
Not the Brock Lesnar thing, the Kenny Omega thing. That's right,
Well,
Kenny Omega.
was Brock Lesnar's different?
No, it's the same.
Is
We
it?
we just don't want to talk about him.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ke-
So
Ke-
Kenny,
Kenny's
yeah,
so far one of the good ones.
Right. So far, for
Wouldn't
now.
necessarily want to
Let's
name
see.
a kid after him because you never know.
You never know.
but
Right.
but so
Right.
far seems to be one of the good ones. Um,
Uh,
you're on the clock, celebrity.
yeah.
Watching you. And Kenny Omega might be one of the people who I wouldn't necessarily sprint, but
Hmm.
I would maybe hang out at a hotel if there was a chance. And if he said it was cool.
Yeah. If he said it was cool,
If he
because
said it was
wrestlers
cool,
are,
I would I would love to meet Kenny one day.
yeah.
Yeah. I was a bit like that with Bret Hart. Like I waited in a very long line to meet Bret Hart.
That's
Yeah.
Brett, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would do.
Yeah.
Maybe not the hotel thing, just because of how angry they get, but I
Yeah.
would, I would wait
But
for
like
Brett.
people like Brett, and one day Kenny will be on that circuit. He will be on the circuit where you can stand in a line and you can get an autograph, and it's. Anyways,
Right.
so I had a pretty bad diverticulitis attack, and
Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
it, it's partially genetics, partially lifestyle, partially what you eat, yada yada. Turns out it's less what you eat than previously thought. Like modern medicine about diverticulitis is much more genetic and like pain related. So so it's I don't really have to worry about seeds and stuff. They used to say you have to worry about things like that, but whatever.
Yeah.
But it's diet. Like diet really matters and health really matters with this kind of stuff. So I changed my diet to have more protein and more fiber than I used to have. That was a big change, and I'm still pretty good at it. Things like sugars and stuff, things like just junk, things that are bad for me. I've learned to some degree that one of the reasons I'm really into them is that I really really crave sugar, like more than a typical person probably does. And one thing I'm working on is how much of that is related to what I think is an ADHD problem that I have.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Because I haven't yet gotten an official diagnosis about this, but like many people who watch 4 to 8 hours of TikTok every day, turns out, might have an ADHD problem.
Right. Right.
I'm exaggerating those
Yeah.
numbers slightly, but not much slightly.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. That's part of it, right? The other part of it is I also found an influencer and just like picked an influencer to follow about health.
Okay.
So I read a book just soon after my diverticulitis thing because I was like, how can I, because that's when you're vulnerable. You really want to change, right? You want to look for something.
Yeah.
And so I've always been a big fan of the writing of Casey Johnston.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The Verge for a
Yes,
while, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Tech reviewer and stuff. She's got a book out called.
Oh, she's the weightlifter, the bodybuilder,
That's
right?
right. Yes.
That's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I read her book. It's called A Physical Education: How I Escaped Diet Culture and Gained the Power of Lifting.
Nice.
And I read her book, and I was like, you know what? This seems about as logical and a way to do it as you can. And I have a gym close to me. Like my condo complex has like a gym with proper weights.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just gonna start going, and I'm gonna start lifting. And what's happened is two things. I've kept with it for about 4 or 5 months, which is very rare for me to keep going with something. And I've been able to lift more over time,
Nice.
like they said you could, and which I
Yeah.
wasn't. I didn't fully believe at first.
Right.
Right?
Right.
The idea of like progressive overload weightlifting is you just add a little bit to the bar every time or every other
Yeah.
time or every third time, like however you feel safe doing it, but like you just
Yes.
add a little bit of weight over time. And I lift now a lot more than I did 4 months ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I don't I haven't seen too much of a change in my body, but I'm also in my 40s.
Uh-huh.
These things go very slowly. And when,
Uh-huh.
so I've also gotten hurt twice.
Oh,
Yeah, I've had
okay.
2 injuries from weightlifting now in the last 4 months.
What happened?
The current one is my right knee is like a little inflamed and a little angry at me. It's not like a major
Oh boy.
injury. Like it's, like
Yeah.
a pro wrestler would just work through it. But
Finish the match, you know?
they'd finish the match for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one was more serious. I don't really want to go into detail about it, but it was a bit of a groin pull, and
Oh boy.
it took me out for a couple of weeks.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like out. Like you couldn't do anything. Like you
Yeah.
were bedridden.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Jeez.
Yeah. But that's, and
Can I ask?
I'm being as slow as I am. I'm being as safe as I can, but I'm also in my 40s,
Yeah.
and I'm more injury prone. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure. And I was gonna ask, is the so what was the exercise you were doing
Uh,
that
it was
where you
squats with a weight. Yeah.
squats
Yeah.
for both, I assume.
Yeah. I
For the
think
knee also?
yeah, I think the squats injure me the
Yeah,
most.
squats.
Like,
Squats, man.
yeah.
Sheesh.
And I think
Yeah.
both times it's because I've added maybe more weight too quickly
Then
on
you should.
squats.
Right.
Right? I
Right.
need to be more ginger about adding weight on squats.
Right.
Yeah.
This is, can I just say I'm thrilled that we're talking, you and I are
Mm.
talking weights and weightlifting
Sure.
and progressive overload. I will say Casey Johnston, I have missed her. I have not heard her name or heard about her in a while. I will say that my wading into the waters of YouTube influencers
Yeah.
uh, were very, very masculine, and after a while, uh, kind of turned me off, kind of gave me the ick a
Mm.
bit. And then sure enough, I hear about like I'm validated with the ick because you hear some stuff about some people, and then it just gets weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, not that this has anything to do with my journey, but I guess as you and I would just embark on a new thing,
Yeah.
we would naturally look for media to
Yeah.
consume about
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
And I did not choose that well. Casey Johnston, I think, remains a good choice, and I post the link of the book,
I
and I
will.
think
Yeah. I think it was a
this is the
good.
thing
I
I'll
think it was a
pursue.
good book. I'm a
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that like it's good to have some influencers in your life, and you should choose
Hmm.
them carefully, right? I've mostly I feel like for the most part I've chosen pretty good influencers in terms of like people who I allow in to give me advice that I don't know. Like we're in a parasocial relationship. They don't know me, right?
Yeah.
But I know them and I know their work, right? And I think it's fine to have that. You just have to be critical of
Yeah.
who you're letting into your life. That's all,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Of course.
And so far, I feel
Yeah.
like Casey Johnston is, yeah, like pretty great.
She's
But again,
always been great. I,
yeah,
I remember when even before I got in. Sorry to interrupt, but
no,
before I even got into it, it was already like it's amazing to me how weightlifting defined a lot of who she was,
mm,
even if that's not what she was writing about on a weekly basis. Like it was nice to see someone in the tech world have a life
yeah,
that isn't, because that's one of the things we talk about a lot.
yeah.
Like the tech world is mostly people who are just in tech.
Like I'm
Um,
honestly surprised we haven't brought up Casey Johnston before because she was a powerhouse tech writer
right,
for a
right,
long time. I really liked her work.
yeah. Well, I'm glad to be back. And I'm glad that she's back in like my like awareness.
Yeah.
So
What I
yeah,
did like about her
yeah,
book was she talked about, dieting and how that kind of just didn't work for her. And it reminded me of what we talked about, where it's like we're like every person is an individual case in the world
right,
of health, and like no two people are going to work exactly the same way.
yeah,
And I'd really struggled with any kind of dieting, with any kind of food tracking. I'll bring
yeah.
this up again when we talk about artificial intelligence, but I tried an AI food tracking app, because one of the problems I've found with food tracking apps is that you would type in hamburger and it would give you some generic thing, right? And you're like, how does that might have nothing to do with what's in front of me, right?
Yeah.
And so early on in, was it 2024 or early 2025? I don't remember exactly, but like in the last year, I tried an AI food tracking app where you take a picture of the food and it like gives you an idea of what it is. And I tried it for about a month, and I found it to be so massively inaccurate.
Oh no.
that it polluted my Apple Health stats.
Oh no. Yuck. Yeah.
Right? Because
it adds to health, of course.
right, and that's and you want it to. If you're tracking your food stuff, you want it to all go into the same bucket you put all your health stuff into, right?
Right.
And I found the data polluted my Apple Health data.
Oh no.
So I ended up deleting all of it. But like at the end of that attempt, I was like, okay, food tracking might not be for me, and worrying too much about food might not be for me, because it made me really unhappy, made me really stressed out. Like it really affected my mood to worry too much about food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say that's partly what I'm anxious about now. Like I know that I have to get back into it, but it's not giving me much excitement, even if it worked.
right.
So like I'm trying to see if maybe some knowledge I have gained might be enough,
Yeah.
at least for the initial stage. Like maybe I can just mentally track.
Yeah.
I kind of know the counts of these things.
Have a general
Because
idea.
opening the app, and of course the whole gamifying thing, like it'll tell you how long it's been since the last time you showed up.
Yeah, sure.
It'll want me to establish a new streak.
Yeah.
And like I don't think I have that in me right now. So I'm because I was looking into like if taking a picture is easier, I'm willing to pay for it if it works.
Well,
But
I did that.
to
I
hear-
tried that, and I paid for it. And I will
Yeah.
say that no, because what you'll find out is that you take a picture of a hamburger, and it'll give you a calorie count, and then you'll do it again. You'll take a picture of the exact same hamburger, and it will just give you different numbers.
Yeah,
It's
see, no,
just
that doesn't make
making
any
it up.
sense. Yeah,
It's based on
Yeah.
nothing.
it's based on nothing. The AI of it all, huh?
Yeah.
So, okay, so thanks for the advice.
Yeah.
I will say, like, this informs
Yeah.
a lot of what I'll do
Yeah.
soon. So, jeez.
But like
I'm sorry about the diverticulitis.
Oh, okay. I
Sorry.
mean, what could you do?
I feel like I vaguely recall you mentioning this and you cracking a Kenny Omega joke
Yeah.
as well. Like this
Yeah.
was like last year, I think, right?
Yeah. It was back
Or
in
early this year?
Yeah, back in the spring of 2025. Yeah.
2024, so this year. So yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be a bad friend, to just respond to you and say Kenny Omega joke,
It's okay.
and not have it be like, oh, this is a serious health thing my friend is going through.
It was there, and then it wasn't. And I think I've made pretty good nutrition changes, and so far doing the weightlifting and trying to be more like Casey Johnston, not worrying too much about dieting so much, but like just like there are foods I'm avoiding because of the diverticulitis thing, where I'm just like, okay, well that's just out for me. I just can't do that anymore, But that's not the same thing as dieting necessarily. That's like, no, if I eat that, I will be in pain immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's not the same.
That's not the same. But like,
do you use any? Sorry. No, you finish your thought first before I ask you.
Were you about to ask me, am I using any apps for the weightlifting?
Yes, of course I must.
So when I was on the Apple Watch, the Apple Watch has a great app called Strong. I think it's called.
Yes.
And and it's an AI app. It was one of the AI apps I was testing, and its accuracy was much better because because like it says it's AI, but like it's actually pretty good, so I don't believe it's AI.
Right. This is
Where
marketing. Yeah.
yeah. So I think
Yeah.
what it's doing is interpolating your movements and going, I think that movement is this workout.
Oh,
And
okay.
that is pretty good, at least. If you don't want to like actually write down what you're doing, and if you just want the watch to be like, I think what you're doing is a barbell row, it's pretty good at that.
Wow. See, I didn't know that. I'm glad you're telling me this. Okay.
I think
I didn't know
strongest,
it could do that.
yeah, it's. I was pretty impressed at its ability to. Now it got it wrong sometimes, but it got it wrong in a reasonable way, where you'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, you're not doing a barbell row, you're doing a chest press, but those movements are pretty similar to the watch,
Right. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
well, you didn't get it, but I kind of get why you'd guess why it was this and not this, right?
I forgive you.
I
Yeah.
forget. Yeah,
I
it's one of
forgive you, but
those.
yeah.
And it's very easy to
Yeah.
correct it. It's very easy to change things. Like it's, I think, a fairly decent Apple Watch app for that kind of
Yeah.
thing. I was using that ever since I moved to Android.
Yeah.
The fitness app inside the Galaxy Watch allows you to say what I'm doing is a chest press. My workout is chest press.
Oh.
I'm doing this many sets. I'm doing this many reps, and here's the weight I'm doing, and it'll track that for you,
Wow.
which is great. It the Galaxy Watch will also let you make a workout with different workouts, and so it'll
Yeah.
go, okay, so today you're doing squats, row, chest press. It'll do, okay, you're doing 5 sets of this, 5 sets of this, 5 sets of this, and it goes through it, and it gives you rest timers in between them,
Right.
and that's just baked into the app, and that's all
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah. That's great.
using so far with that,
Yeah.
and it's been great because I am, and I think most people are, bad at approximating rest between reps,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay, fine, you like manually set a timer or something, but that's, having the thing just set a timer for you is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I can imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also tried out the Strong Lifts app.
Uh-huh.
This is a fairly famous one in the world of like progressive overload weight training. It's called Strong Lifts
Mm-hmm.
5x5, and that is mostly like the workout program I'm using. But I found his app to be like just it's okay. Like it's fine for what it is, but like I'm I felt I didn't need it necessarily. Like
Yeah.
if you want it to be like dumb simple, and just follow the app, like I think it's okay. I also found it to be a little expensive. It's like $100 a year.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I found it to be a little expensive for what it is, which is just a workout tracker, and like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of built into the watch. So what the Strong Lifts app does is do the progressive overload of weight for you. So like
Uh-huh.
if you don't even want to like think about should I add weight this time or not, like the app will
Yeah.
tell you, the app will really baby you through the whole process, and if you need that, I think it's probably great.
Yeah.
But I found it to be like I'm good here. I can decide on my own whether to add weight this week or not.
Right.
Yeah. So those are the tech things I've been using for working out.
So I've been using Heavy, an app called Heavy,
Sure.
which is a competitor of Strong.
Okay. Cool.
I used Strong at first, but I found it like because I was using the exercise app on the Apple Watch, it felt redundant because it did have, of course, it did connect to Health Kit, it did connect to all those things. What I wanted was just simply a guide to tell me what to do
Sure.
while my watch records the traditional strength training workout,
Yeah.
which doesn't track anything. It
Yeah.
just estimates according to heart rate and it gives you a set timer.
Yeah.
And my idea was the game I was playing was completing the green ring. Like that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm the one that manages the program I'm using. Um, and then when my summer eased up, I decided to try I think it's called the Gentle Streak,
Oh, I've heard of that.
which
Yeah.
is yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's fairly famous. It went on sale, so I got it for a year, and I'd try that, and then also use Heavy, so that the Gentle Streak took over the Apple Watch exercise app, and then Heavy was my guide app,
Yeah.
and it just felt I'm still using it now when I work out. But it does feel unintegrated and almost unmanageable.
Okay.
But Heavy is a good like what it is. It's just a way for me to record my workout. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't actually. It's not an exercise app, but it does have that functionality that I don't take advantage of.
Hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is, because I paid for 6 months of it, I think I will check out if it has any of the like now. See, this is inspiring me. I'm glad that you're here too. Like I have weightlifting nerd tech friends, because I do have people who lift weights who are great friends, but
Yeah.
not tech friends.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like
and
this is
you know, this
exciting.
is I'm kind of straying from like Casey Johnston's advice on this, which is to just not use technology. Just go to the gym and lift the weights, and
Sure,
don't worry about the tech of it all. You know, which is
sure,
ironic
that makes
coming from
sense.
her because she was a tech writer for a long time.
Right,
But like but
right.
it's also kind of why I believe her about that.
Yeah,
Because
she has the credibility to say that.
she has the credibility to say like, don't use computers with this. Like you don't
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to. Yeah, yeah. You don't need
yeah.
to record your workout. It's more important to do the workout.
But yeah, but then it didn't happen after you do it.
So this is the thing. This is the you do
That's
want
the
the
thing.
I do want the video game points,
Yeah, of course.
right?
I mean,
Yeah,
if you could have them, like
yeah,
one of the best things that happened to me was breaking the streak, because then you're free. Like
yeah,
I'm set free
yeah,
from maintaining the streak.
yeah,
But I do want the points. The
yeah,
points are, I still want them anyway. What the heck, right?
yeah. It's true.
So it's nice to have it be a healthy thing instead of a toxic thing. I'm glad it
Yeah,
didn't really get there. So I'm very happy for you. This is amazing. I'm sorry
thanks.
about your diverticulitis, but I'm glad it's not there. I
It
think
doesn't seem to be there.
weightlifting.
The injuries are there. Like I am noticing like, oh, I'm being more of an athlete, and part of being an athlete means your body can sometimes get hurt,
Sure.
right? And
Right.
that, yeah, I think it just comes with
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about that, but since that's part of it, maybe it's a good thing. Like
It
it's a nice part of the story.
it means I still have to work on my form more. I have to be more patient, and
Yeah.
I have to just. There is a
Yeah.
part of it where it's just like, oh, you're in your 40s and you're pushing yourself. That is
Yeah.
it's gonna happen sometimes. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. I'm very proud. I don't mean to be condescending. Just I'm proud as your friend, not as a person with any leverage in any way, but just as your friend. Like I'm proud that this is a thing you're doing. It's
thank
awesome,
you. It
and it's
has also
inspiring to
made
me.
me. It has definitely also made me look at like injuries in like the wrestling world completely differently.
Right.
Because
Of course.
I'll get hurt doing nothing, and they often get hurt
Yeah.
doing nothing. Like it's not the
Yeah.
it's not always the big moves where they hurt each other. It's like
Yeah.
the basic
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Right. Right.
It's just you just put
Right.
your foot down wrong one time, and that's it. That's all it
Yeah.
takes, and you're out for 3 months.
Right. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And just knowing also like what the pain means,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because like a pull
yeah,
is different from a tear,
yeah,
is different from a broken whatever.
yeah.
And then Cody will have a black chest and arm and do a Hell in a Cell,
Insane.
like, eeh,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So wrestlers, man, don't stalk them at hotels
Unless they say it's fine, then I guess whatever.
unless they say it's fine. You never know. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think this is a thing we'll have to follow up on.
yeah,
Like I
because it
do think
changes all the
specifically,
time. Sure,
yeah. And I will say like health journey in general, sure. But
sure.
I also think like weightlifting. Like, let's talk about weightlifting, like
Yeah,
like as a follow up item
sure.
eventually,
I'll let you know
because
how I
like
am in a few months. Yeah.
yeah, and I will try. And for me, the technology thing, I'm gonna try all sorts of new stuff now because I feel like I'm slowly wetting my feet again.
Sure. That's
Um,
part of the
so
fun
yeah,
too, I think. You know.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, Casey. But yeah, that's gonna be the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for you.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted on my thing.
I think next time I want to know like what you're playing. So I have stuff to talk about gaming wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get to talk about AI.
We did get to
do
talk
think
about
it
AI.
has.
I am somewhat purposefully pushing that off as much as I do want to talk about it, but I also don't. You know?
Mhm. Well, I don't want to start disconnecting all of a sudden and like not hear what you're saying. So sure,
Yeah.
let's postpone it as much as we can. I don't mind. It's gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be around.
It's funny though, talking about gaming this summer. I also maybe this can be a teaser for next time. I also sustained an injury from gaming this summer.
What?
Yeah,
How?
I hurt my I hurt my thumb,
Oh,
and these two
oh,
finger, like
okay.
my ring finger and my pinky finger, still are a little tender.
Oh
Like
no.
these two fingers and my thumb. Like the thumb injuries for gaming is very common,
Yeah.
but like it was from gripping the controller too hard for
Oh boy.
a long. I know, get your jokes out and all that, but like that's yeah, it was a gaming controller injury. Yeah.
Oh boy.
and
I'm sorry.
but I hurt myself doing esports. So
Nice. Of
so yeah,
course.
we can talk
That's
about that
that's
if you want.
that's legitimate. So you're like a wrestler.
That's
Exactly.
right. I'm just like a wrestler.
Just like a wrestler. Precisely. Let's talk about that. I do think we'll need to take a bit of a break. I won't be able to record next week.
That's
So I
okay.
think the week after that will
Sure.
be good to go.
Sounds good.
Let's discuss.
See you
Yeah.
then, buddy.
Uh,
This
yeah,
was a
let's
good
do
one.
it then. This was fun. Thank you so much. It's nice to get to talk about this stuff, all of this stuff. So
I'm
thank you,
so
Conan and Aaron Blair and his
yeah,
team.
definitely. I'm gonna look into the Aaron Blair thing. Sounds like a
Yeah,
neat
cool,
fella.
cool. Show notes.
Show notes
It's all there.
at
Yeah.
you can find all of that at underneath this podcast. If you're listening to this on any app, you'll see show notes, and over at my website at ksawyerpaul.com is where you can find all
Nice.
of our episodes. Look at me being a good podcaster.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. Keep the settings on your computer.
Yeah, I gotta
The
touch
next
nothing.
time we do this. Yeah. Make sure this works.
All right. See you around.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.